to be the presentation.
A wise man once stated,
Give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day.
Teach a man to fish.
And you feed him for a lifetime. This year, Texas Enactus embraced this proverb.
we examine impacting our community in diverse ways.
And improving livelihood through self-empowerment.
We aspire to equip disadvantaged individuals
With not only the resources and opportunities needed to be successful,
But the power to change their own lives through our projects.
First, we will illustrate how Texas Enactus increased the number of college students taking entrepreneurial action to address issues that they care about through our first ever competition, Startup for Change.
next we will feature Driven, a social enterprise empowering homeless individuals by providing work opportunities with local business partners.
Then we will highlight Seek, an initiative to empower low-income high school students through financial and entrepreneurship literacy.
Fourth, we will discuss Food Desert with Sprout Scouts, a project aimed at providing elementary school-aged children and their families with both nutrition education as well as access to healthy foods on their own campuses.
Finally, our team will showcase an innovative partnership with analysts at Deloitte Consulting to connect Enactus USA groups for maximum impact. Now, let's dive right into it with Startup for Change.
Here at Texas Enactus, our students know that market forces can create solutions to world problems. This year, our team set out to spread this knowledge to other college students who are not part of Enactus through our first ever social pitch venture competition, Startup for Change.
Participants form teams, exercise their talents, and develop impactful solutions to empower disadvantaged populations in Austin.
The event took place over one weekend. On day one, participants discussed their issues with experts who have dealt specifically with these issues in order to come up with a solution fitting Enactus judging criteria.
The next day, students had the opportunity to go out into the city of Austin in order to conduct in-depth market research. In addition, they had access to a wealth of mentors who were able to provide ideas in order to come up with a more robust plan.
On the final day, teams presented their ventures to a panel of judges, including professors, representatives from local businesses, and our Enactus Regional Program Manager. Then the panel awarded the top 3 teams with over $1,300 in startup funding. Each of our participants was invited to join Texas Enactus to incubate their projects, and all of our judges were invited to join our Business Advisory Board. Not only did our team inspire and empower non-Enactus college students to take entrepreneurial action, we gained new members and new projects that we are still fostering today.
In fact, I'm one of those new members in the current project manager of Startup for Change's champion, Driven. At Driven, we're changing lives by impacting homelessness, by tackling homelessness from its root cause, a lack of work opportunity. According to the city of Austin, almost 3,000 individuals are homeless on any given night. Of those, 1/3 are chronically homeless for over a year.
To identify the nature of the problem, we combed the streets of downtown Austin, giving out free hot coffee for stories. Challenging expectations, we found that homeless men were not mentally unattached to society and were in fact trying to actively reintegrate themselves.
Take Frank, for example, who's been homeless for over 5 years. After spending nearly a decade in prison, he left with no job to regain his life. His wife and kids live in a shelter, but because the shelter's strict limits, he is forced onto the streets to make money any way he can, like panhandling.
Another example is Angela, a 20-year-old woman who has been on the streets for 2 years. Angela graduated college with a degree in business, but due to her father's alcoholism and domestic abuse in her household, Angela has been on the streets since graduating college. Her story is not unique in the homeless community. According to the National Coalition for the Homeless, 63% of homeless women are put on the streets following episodes of domestic abuse in their households.
We met over 50 other individuals like Frank and Angela who spoke to our hearts and resulted in the creation of Driven, an online, multifaceted platform designed for the motivated homeless. We target individuals who are motivated to work their way out of homelessness but just have not been given the opportunity. However, with such a complicated problem, there must be a specifically targeted 4-step solution.
This process begins with vetting and finding our motivated homeless individuals. To do this, we partner with local nonprofit organizations such as the Salvation Army who are actively working with these people and know which ones of them are driven.
The next step in the vetting process is an interview with our team because we need to personally trust the individuals and have confidence in their abilities. Then we enroll these individuals in our 2-day training program to make sure that they understand our expectations for timeliness, customer service, and ethics. During this time, we also sign up our workers on our website, drivenmarket.org.
Step 2 is Driven's online marketplace, where individuals can find short and simple paid tasks. Our tasks start at $10 an hour and include activities such as washing windows, raking leaves, and even venue cleanup.
These tasks are completed in partnership with local businesses such as food trucks, bars, and churches. Some of our newest partners include Longhorn Chicken and the West Campus Food Truck Community.
We connect our workers to our clients through our online platform, which they can access at free computers in both local libraries and shelters. In addition, we've estimated that approximately 62% of homeless individuals have mobile phones able to access the internet, as according to a nationwide study conducted by the University of Southern California.
Each of our tasks are assigned by proximity to the participant. When participants arrive, they complete their tasks and then are paid for their services.
However, Driven's entrepreneurial solution looks towards the long term, which can be seen in Step 3's fully functional and live review system.
Every time a motivated individual completes a task, the task is recorded and reviewed and aggregated into a resume. When an individual receives positive feedback on their Driven resume, they have community-reviewed validation for being a reliable person ready to work.
Finally, when those reviews are aggregated in that resume and they're successful, we send those to local businesses and organizations interested in hiring our hard-working Driven workers.
This culminates in the final step of giving our workers a full-time job and a sustainable career. This vastly improves their own lives as well as the local economy.
By completing jobs, our workers obtain housing and take back their lives. Furthermore, we are partnered with Community First, a local charity, to provide discounted housing to our Driven workers that are not yet ready for graduation.
We are validated by our participation in 2 of Austin's premier accelerator programs, including Longhorn Startup Labs and Capital Factory. Through both programs, we have raised over $6,000 in startup funding.
We will reduce chronic homelessness in our community. When that happens, we will repeat this process to more communities and more cities around the nation. When that happens, we will continuously self-empower homeless individuals and give them the catalyst needed to rebuild their lives. Driven is creating the better way to help. And now we'll move from the streets to the classroom with Seek.
SEEK is an initiative to empower low-income high school students in Austin with the opportunity to practice the importance of personal finance and entrepreneurship.
In 2015, 2 out of 3 Austin ISD students were classified as economically disadvantaged, a rate much higher than the state of Texas average of 43%. When you look at Southeast Austin specifically, this rate jumps to a staggering 82%. The Wall Street Journal suggests that only 40% of these students will attend a 4-year college.
And with only 1 job available for every 19 non-college graduates, the need for financial literacy is growing exponentially.
In addition, Business Insider reports that high school seniors that had had a personal finance course were more likely to save money, manage a budget, and invest in the future. We wanted to create a positive impact on these students by creating activities that were focused on basic accounting, finance, and economics.
After creating our curriculum, we knew that we had a long way to go before we could successfully engage low-income high school students in personal finance. To better understand our target demographic, we spoke with Ms. Brandy Beck, a business track teacher at the low-income high school in Austin, the William B. Travis Early College High School.
After speaking with Ms. Beck, we learned that collaborating with existing class structures would be the most efficient. And as a teacher in a low-income school district, she noted the value of financial literacy for her students.
Taking our ideas, we worked with Ms. Beck to create a 2-fold plan. First, we would create more activities for her current Money Matters class this semester in order to make learning business concepts more interactive for her students. During this trial period, we will also be talking to the students to figure out what they want to learn so that we can further tailor our curriculum to meet their needs.
Our second step is to integrate a semester-long social entrepreneurship project into Ms. Beck's fall class called Principles of Business. Our goal is to provide students with the opportunity to not only apply the business skills they're learning, but practice them in a project designed to be about problems they care about.
Furthermore, each lesson ends with an activity based on concepts learned that day. These activities are focused to teach students how to design their own social venture. At the end of the semester, we hope to build an idea fair in order for students to be able to share those ideas that they created with their community.
We will ask angel investors that we recruit throughout the semester to donate to their favorite projects, giving the students the financial capital they need to bring their projects to life, while also giving them the self-confidence they need to shape their own future.
To make this project further sustainable, We plan to expand and to adjust our curriculum after reaching out to more professors, student organizations, and relevant interest groups.
We hope to include at least 3 other low-income high schools and involve at least 200 more high school students within the next year. To do this, we will partner with other student organizations on our campus, such as engineering groups, to bring in more curriculum and more ideas that will give students the tools that they need to self-empower themselves for any career path that they choose.
Our mission is not just education. Through the college mentorship and introduction to the higher education pipeline, our students' financial knowledge and projects will create a ripple effect in their communities.
But wait, how can we expect students to balance their budget when they can't even balance their diets?
That problem is addressed in our next project. Here at Sprout Scouts, we believe a child cannot have a head full of dreams without a stomach full of nutritious food.
Nearly 50% of Austin's population lives in South and East Austin, where no full-service grocery stores are located. Instead, supplementary sources such as gas stations and fast food chains run rampant in an area that cannot afford to choose carrots over cheeseburgers.
In addition, 19% of children under the age of 17 don't have access to healthy dietary options both inside and outside of the community. This is due in part to low household incomes and tight educational budgets that can't even afford to put the bare essentials on the table.
The above question asks about the color of a ripe strawberry. Can you answer this question? In 2009, the state of Texas had to remove this very question from a state standardized science test because students from food deserts could not answer what color a strawberry is.
These kids needed long-term, affordable access to produce. They also needed to learn how to best utilize their healthy food options. They needed Sprout Scouts.
Founded in late 2015 and supported by the generous Unilever Bright Future Grant, Sprout Scouts is a Texas Enactus initiative to fight against the rampant malnutrition in South and East Austin.
Sprout Scouts' primary focus lies in 2 major issues: how to teach the community about the importance of nutrition and how to get the produce to kids once they learn about it. To accomplish this program is broken down into 2 main aspects, which together best benefit children in food deserts all across Austin.
First, we partnered with the local Ortega Elementary School in order to host our pilot program. There, the plan was threefold. 1, teach the students teach the student about the importance of a healthy lifestyle. Then, how to bring it home to their parents, and finally, how to continuously integrate that throughout their life.
To do this, we currently host bi-weekly seminars at Ortega Elementary School, where we provide lessons and activities for students, such as teaching them how to grow their own tomato plants, or bringing in local chefs to teach them about creating the perfect healthy after-school snack. Our program has the added benefit of providing students in low-income areas with a safe and productive way to spend their after-school hours.
However, all this knowledge would be useless unless put into practice. So, we at Sprout Scouts have reached out to local farmers to sell excess produce directly into these communities at an affordable rate. This leaves farmers with more money in their pockets and families with more produce on the table.
With both of these programs in place, we will improve the lives and dietary habits of over 200 Austin residents and indirectly impact over 500 within the next year. By starting small, not only will we alleviate social, economic, and health risks in our own backyard, but we will do so in a financially and environmentally sustainable way so we can help our community grow for years to come. While growing our community, we are also growing our network, which can be seen in our next project, our Deloitte collaboration.
Because our Enactus team is quite young, we haven't had that much interaction with other teams. But in November of 2015, we led the creation of a multi-team network to increase the efficiency of Enactus USA groups.
This idea began with Robert Fang, an analyst at Deloitte Consulting in Houston and a former Enactus China member. Robert initially contacted our team to speak about mentoring opportunities. After working with us for about a month, however, he was shocked to learn we had not gone to other Enactus teams to ask some of the questions that we asked him. Robert's passion for mentoring us soon grew into a vision to connecting other Enactus teams facing the same challenges to collaborate and brainstorm together to come up with solutions based on our respective experiences.
Seeing that we had an opportunity to make a truly impactful change onto Enactus USA, we set out to make Robert's dream a reality. To do this, we hosted bi-weekly discussions with other schools in order to come up with these impactful solutions to problems that we all had similarly faced.
This past January, we had our first meeting with 5 other teams in which we presented our organization model for others to learn from. but also ask for advice on the issue of member engagement. Since this initial meeting, our network has grown to 8 teams and is still expanding. And over the next year, we hope to engage 20 more teams.
To conclude, and with this portfolio of projects in mind, Texas Enactus has empowered a spectrum of lives.
We begin with the proverb.
Give a man a fish and feed him for a day.
Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime.
But it must be amended.
Now we know that we must also
Teach a man how to teach others.
In order to impact an entire community.
we create self-empowerment. We are Texas Enactus.